It's just how to find things on the internet, things that have been digitized, things that have just extra information you want to try to find out in other sources. First thing to recognize the difference between resources. You have your period resources, which are newspaper accounts, period newspaper accounts, magazines, I would say like Harper's Weekly and such like that, illustrations. Then of course personal accounts, letters, reports, which are supposed to be military government reports. We all know War of the Rebellion, a lot of stuff that's in the National Archives, at the Army Museum, whatnot. Some trade journals will have a lot of material dealing with your railroad, how it's being built, because not that everyone was bored back then, but the newspapers were very, very nosy. And so trade journals and journalists would get any information. They'd go up to the offices of the railroads and ask, what is going on? What's your update? What, were they catching the surveyors on the field, or the president asks what's going on, where he's reaching to. And then company records, of course, we all know, most of them have not been digitized, so that's the one hard one to find. Of course, we all know maps. Thankfully, a lot of them have been digitized depending on the railroad. But that's a distinction to make sure that this is information coming out of the horse's mouth at the time being. And then we have secondary resources, which is records written within the period of memory, and this is usually after recall. So you have books that, something like talking about the Civil War, some books came out after. A lot of times they're either autobiographies, or what was my perspective during the Battle of Gettysburg type deal. A lot of officer accounts and people who've written it down later. Accounts by people who were there, but they're not recalling it like a diary. We're calling it much later. Same thing in newspaper magazines. We all know in magazines, a lot of officers, a lot of men would write their version of events. And same thing goes for newspapers. Like let's say it's 1885 and there's an anniversary of Appomattox. They're going to go out and interview a lot of people who were there, such like that. So it's within period memory. So you have to take that into account when analyzing the details, right, to make sure that, because obviously, if one side is different, the other side is totally different, you have to make sure you're hearing that right and you're analyzing correctly, that you're not taking it at face value, you take it with a grain of salt. And then we get to what we live in today, as in tertiary resources, which is what we all read today as like books by historians or by people about these events, about the railroads, people who have collected all the information together for us to enjoy the content. And the problem with that happens to be is because it's dependent on the researcher. What accounts are they going after? Whose are they going after? Are they going after period accounts or secondary accounts? Are they pulling information from somebody who wrote about Gettysburg or the railroad by using their different accounts? You can't always take that at face value. So I love reading the bibliography section in the source section in the back of the book to make sure where they're getting their info coming from. So with all this in mind is where you can, when you get into these records online, that's where you have to remember to go after. Right? What I use a lot of times are digital newspapers. And of course, that can range across the years. That's where you get your period and secondary resources. From people who can, or of course we have, everyone knows the newspapers at the time, I don't have to explain that one. And then the secondary is people who are retelling the stories time after time. And it comes again with telephone, who's telling the story, is it a grandchild, is it a memory, what's going on there. Same thing with digital libraries, which are very thankfully something of our modern progress today, is that a lot of these books have been digitized, a lot of these journals, magazines have been digitized for us to access at the tip of our fingers. Same thing with digital archives, which means photographs, maps, and letters, transcribed letters and whatnot, so that helps a lot.
Question.
Yes.
Where would Dave Bright fall into that category?
Dave himself is
Tertiary.
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 Yeah.
But Oh, let me shut up, I'm not giving the presentation.
You want to come on, Roger?
No.
Um,
I need to
He
shut up.
pulls a lot of period information out, because he goes directly to the archives, finding
Yeah.
government reports.
Yeah.
And going through newspapers and archive,
Right.
yes.
Archive, that's fine,
Archives,
yeah.
so he said archival. That's basically what he calls it. He's still a tertiary resource as himself as a historian. But you can know that his information is good because he comes from period resources. These are newspapers. There's a lot of good newspapers, websites out there. Of course, you got newspaper.com and newspaperarchive.com. Both, unfortunately, you have to get a paid subscription to really get a good use of it. And I'm going to pull some of these up to show you all how to get around them for those that haven't, because I know probably a good half of y'all in the room have used these already. Especially for Virginia, if that's your expertise, Virginia Chronicle, California, which another thing is too, if your railroad is not in California, you still can check the California papers because there's always reprints. Paper is always reprinted stories coming from other papers. That's how it's filled in. So when you see a blip in the paper where it says from the, give me a paper, Joel, the Alexandria Gazette, yeah, the Alexandria Gazette, and it'll reprint what they said. But a lot of that with the Alexandria Gazette, you can find Virginia Chronicle. Now, Library of Congress has probably the biggest collection of digitized newspapers. I don't use them as often because the interface is not particularly great for searching, because it doesn't adhere to certain laws of the internet. I would say I'll point out using, because it's just depending on how they set up the search engine, focusing on how to find the words you're looking for. So you could put in Virginia Central Locomotive, and it'll give you a lot of different, more things that might not actually be related to your search. But it is a good thing to just peruse through to see if your local newspaper has been digitized, so you can flip through it yourself like old microfilm. And of course, I say all this with the context of mind that you're putting in something in a search engine. If you were like an archivist from the old days, your practice is going through the entire page, going through every page and noticing what is preferable to you. All right. And of course, there's various other sites, but I didn't have time to list them. Digital libraries, Google Books. We all been on there? Some? A little bit? All right, well, Google Books. Yeah, the Google Books, I think, for me, is the greatest asset that I've used to find an easy and quick search to what you're looking for. A lot of war rebellion records are on there. A lot of federal documents are on there, as in how they were published in books of the time period. Hops, or McCallum's reports on there. So it's easy to, if you put in these searches and you're looking for something particular, it'll pop up, give you everything. Now, of course, I'm going to give you some tips to how to narrow your search, so you aren't just putting words in and you're getting every page that just has this jumble of words. And our archive, if anyone's been on there, that is another great digital source, digital library source. They've archived a lot of books, a lot of secondary or tertiary resources. A lot of books written after the fact or written by historians. Mainly because they also have to deal with copyright, with publishing issues. So a recent book won't be on there, but a more, probably 30 years ago might be published on there. Digitized and searchable, so that's very handy. We also have same with Google Books, they have trade journals, magazines, as well as some newspapers that will appear on there. HathiTrust, that is another great digital library for a lot of statewide federal papers published. It's an assortment of reports, especially if you're going on mining reports, war reports. There's a lot of stuff on HathiTrust. The only problem is for me, it also does not adhere to certain laws of internet to search. So the search engine is a little bit wonky. But if you're looking for a specific book or specific paper, it'll be on there. Usually you can find it through a Google search because it'll come up with Google results. JSTOR store, on the other hand, has a lot of great material, great secondary and tertiary material written by historical societies. We have the quarterlies. My State Quarterly, My State's Historical Quarterly is on there. You get a lot of secondhand books and some photographs, interestingly enough. I found a lot of Atlantic and Great Western photographs on there. So I use these tangible all the time.
Joe?
And of course, digital archives. We all know Library of Congress, which is great. But something to remember is that some of the photographs on there are usually scans taken from either you got
Microfiche.
from microfiche. So sometimes the quality can be a little bit hazy because it's been reprinted from something else, as well as because of that, it's not the original photograph.
Mm.
So the original photograph might lie elsewhere, but of course we all know how great that is. State archives and university archives, which a lot of people have used, but a lot of state and universities have now, not now, but in the last 10 years or so, have been digitizing their collections. And then having a search engine to go up above and what collections you can go through, how to narrow your search, looking through whose collection you're going through or what time period and all that. So they're very helpful. Like, I think it was not University of Georgia. It was one of the Georgia archives uploaded, digitized a lot of Wilbur Kurtz's.
Oh, Kurtz's, yeah, yeah.
collection.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so a lot of his
Probably
paintings,
not
photographs, like that. These two are more or less search engines for where to find content, where to find material that you're looking for. Archive Grid, WorldCat usually help you find where things reside if they're not digitized. So if you, oh, sorry, did I do it? Sorry, Ray. Well,
Question.
Yeah.
I noticed National Archives wasn't on your list.
Yes, I forgot to put that one in. That's a good one to figure out, but I haven't found that their search engine is quite so, it's, as Joel probably knows, actually been Bernie and most everybody knows, it's easier just to email them what you want and to get back.
Gotcha.
Because to find their stuff digitized is a bit of a hassle, but you can definitely try that.
Amen. Tough.
And next
Possible.
one. And some tricks I've learned along the ride to narrow down the search so you're not just using one word or to specify your results to get exactly what you want. Quotations, quotations, quotations is the best way. It gets it from, as I said, for one, that's what the law of internet I was talking about, was that some search engines don't abide by that, but most like Google, JSTOR, Internet Archive,
No substitution.
but,
No substitution.
right. Newspapers would do it too. If you're looking for Virginia Central, then Locomotive, you put them in quotations and give you your best match if you're looking for. Putting up Orange and Alexandria, Manassas Gap. You'll see every document that mentions both those things. And so that is the best way.
Good thing you're retired.
Don't do anything without quotations, I say, at least when I'm searching. Use different versions of the word, especially in newspapers and journals. Journalists was not always noting down that it's a railroad versus railway. So that's always hard to do. Sometimes instead of saying railroad or railway, they add company because these were companies. Or they just say the road. So like the Western Atlantic, they'd say the Western Atlantic Road, or they call it the Atlanta Road.
That's right.
Some things like that.
Very
That's little, you gotta kind of pick up on their jargon and how
Yeah.
they worded things. Different spelling, this was one example for railroad. You can always, for that period, sometimes they put a space in between it.
Yeah.
That helps a lot. But spelling also refers to names. Yeah, that's what I put down here. So like, let's say you have James Rupert Feldman, he's gonna be referred to as a lot of things in different prints. So you're gonna have J.R. Feldman, or J.R.F., or maybe J. Feldman.
Oh, wow.
Or James. Jazz is short for James. Or JOS is short for Joseph. Stuff like
So
that.
you're saying that depending upon which version you put in the search, it could give you a whole bunch of different, gotcha. Oh,
Bingo.
my
Bingo.
Lord. I'm gonna be busy on the computer.
I don't know what to do. Yeah, Jazz, versus Jazz Feldman, or just take out the middle name. Variations of abbreviations, railroad, railway, or co, will always help sometimes, depending on what, I haven't noticed that a lot in newspapers, but a lot of times in documents. And of course, if you're looking for period papers, they're never gonna refer to Civil War. So if you put in Civil War locomotive, it's not gonna come up. You have to look for something specific. So, but let's say you're looking up a builder, Smith and Perkins. You put in Smith and Perkins, or also known as Virginia Locomotive Works. So you're changing names, you're changing company names. Of course, with that in itself, sometimes they will still refer to that company as their old name instead of their new one. So it just depends. I'm sure like something like that, with Smith and Perkins, you look up the Perkins Machine Shop, because they're just shortening it. You know, you won't just see Smith and Perkins.
So if I put in there Hagley Machine Shop,
For
if I wanted to get photos or something.
maybe.
The Hagley Museum has its own archive.
Yes, they do. And so they should have plenty of it.
Yeah, I was saying, would that be in, it's, I guess, I know it'd be better to go to what's already established, but I'm just wondering.
You know, definitely never not gonna.
You know what, I think it's a hit or miss. You just put it in there and see what you get.
I'm more speaking to the context of if you're looking for an actual period mention of it, like in a paper. But, that will narrow down your search for, if you're looking for updated photos of it that people have taken. But yeah, so that usually helps out with my research.
So let me ask you something. So, thinking about Rogers layout, Manassas Junction, what would be something that you would want to put in there? Is there anything that you're looking to get an answer to?
Well, I'm still looking, I'm hoping there's something beyond the surveyor map of April 62, after the Union took control of the station junction. And hopefully, like, finding like a prize gem that he has in his room right now. He's got a Culpeper map, and maybe somebody did something a year down the line.
How do you find that through that, do you think?
Depending on, well, as this, you can always go to archive grid. I'm gonna pull these sites up, just kind of give you a little run through. Archive grid, look up like Manassas Gap records, or O&A records, because they're real kind of usually intermeshed.
That would be
Well, I
cool.
think they were also I'm unfortunately running into too many reports that those records are destroyed. Because they're Southern Railroad, and they were passed around, and like they were probably destroyed. If they were handed over to the B&O, after the B&O bought it, they were probably destroyed. But
Not too sure, B&O kept most paperwork. The map that I located in Gettysburg is the Provost Marshal's map, which is
Yeah.
drawn by the Corps of Engineers. I would have never, I'm used to quartermaster maps being drawn of areas like Alexandria, but this was a Provost Marshal map. So that would be a brand new area. to
Yes.
look at, because it's a large scale map. It was what they drew of where they were controlling things inside Culpeper. So, yeah.
Right.
So let me ask you this, Joel. So if you were using some of Austin's tips and tricks,
Yeah.
where would you put in what to get what Roger's looking for?
The issue always is maps, Virginia.
okay, that's a broad stroke right there, and I've
It
done
is.
that.
Yeah,
It
I would
is.
say.
And then you put, and then you sub on that to Manassas.
Yeah.
Because the word Manassas should appear in any variation of what you're doing.
So just for grins, could we do that and see what comes up? Maybe Roger gets something new.
Maybe. I would add in engineers, provost, quartermaster into that.
Yeah.
To specifically get a.
Cool.
Yeah. All right.
Good, let's see how applicable we can make this for the man.
You know, it's in this
I'm doing anything I can to get Roger's support to continue to move
Yeah,
on.
just Roger
with that.
wants-
Unfortunately, you can't do that with DC because it's all make-believe.
Okay. Well, let's try archive grid. Oh, another thing is too, if you're looking down for railroad records, what's interesting enough is that Family Search and Ancestry website can actually help you. While you think you're gonna go after your ancestor, what you can actually do is access microfilmed records from courthouses in the area. Depending on it really depends on who allowed the Mormons, because this was set up at the LDS Church to microfilm a lot of court records back in the day. And then the Family Search has digitized a lot of them and put them up for access. So if you want to go down courthouse records, like let's say in, what's the county?
Prince William County.
Prince William County,
Yeah,
then that's where you go.
okay. I hadn't explored that option, so it would probably be a very good idea.
Oh, and does everyone know where the word billion record or the books have been digitized?
Where's that?
Has everyone been on Cornell University?
Hell no.
No?
No, I didn't know that.
This is, yeah, they have
Okay.
Of course, Bernie knows.
the OR.
Why is that a surprise?
Yeah,
That's right, the OR.
where you get a lot of battle reports from.
It's very good.
These have them sorted out, but they're actually on Hathy Trust.
Yes.
And you can pull one up.
These are the trust.
See, this is operations in Maryland, Pennsylvania, Virginia, 61. And all you have to do is go over here, switch this text, put in,
Split Hopton, actually, well, 61, that would be.
yeah,
correct.
which-
62 would be, put Manassas in
Manassas, yeah, let's work on Roger's predicament. I wanna, like, immediately try to apply.
there. But the OR doesn't have maps, you gotta get the separate map book.
yes,
Which
that's
I
it.
have.
Yeah, which I have as well.
Oh, you do?
Yeah,
this-
and I've looked at everything that says Manassas. And as far as I have found, it's that same map.
I see.
Well,
Yeah.
there really wasn't a town of Manassas.
Yeah,
Right,
I also
it was
looked
just a
up
juncture.
Tudor Hall.
Tudor Hall is what, the little farm
Yeah.
that was there.
Damn, Roger, you're in it.
Yeah, no, I've done my homework.
Well, what are you looking for, because there isn't
Well,
that much there.
There's more than, I found a photograph, which I've shown on my
Yes, you
presentation
did.
once or twice, that has more trackage than the map that I have. And I mean a
No,
footprint,
that's-
it shows very clearly
Bernie, why don't you
that there's
catch me
something
on
more.
this?
What's that?
That's Manassas, right?
Manassas.
So it's SS.
Yeah. Manassas, I believe.
There's a couple.
No, I think it ends in.
One
Oh,
S,
it's one
one
S,
S,
one S there for
at the
the
end, I'm sorry.
Oh,
at the
yeah,
end.
okay.
Yes, sir.
I think I know these things.
No, not necessarily, we didn't even know for a minute.
See, this one bring up like,
Okay,
laws,
whoa, okay,
Laws collection.
that will, yeah, he has stuff.
or in
What the
a company
hell is
records.
that?
What?
This I've never seen.
What?
The Orange and Alexandria.
Click that on, see what you get.
Your 1 cubic
Maybe
feet
I have seen
of,
this.
it's in the Library of Congress, part of the Southern Railway Archives repositories. See,
What's your initial portal here? What do you?
this is Archive Grid, and it'll take you to a WorldCat, a description of it. See, of course, it's not digitized, so you can't see it online, but you know where it is. Correspondence, legal files, and other records.
Okay, well, that's something that would be nice to chase on.
Gotta go down to the Library of Congress, though.
That would be the cleanest way to do it, right? Otherwise, well, I guess you could do it
Yeah.
online.
Well, you can email them too.
I've occasionally misspelled something, and got other people who do the same thing, so what I was looking for came up.
Yeah.
This one says,
So that's not the primary.
Conscience.
Right company, that's something different, I guess.
Rules of spelling, folks.
that's a Duke, receives letters and legal papers related to Badersburg from the Manassas Gap Railroad.
Yeah, but that's before they started to build it,
Right.
which
that's
is
a
all they would have
turnpike.
got here.
There you go.
Company, I'll be damned do.
Manassas Gap Railroad Company records.
Hagley Museum and Library.
Do you need something
Yeah,
right?
why should be that way too, yeah, the company was, see, that's where it contains letters sent, stockholders, okay, that's nice.
Is there anything you wanna capture here?
Library of
Let me just take
Virginia.
a picture of
That's
it
the one
for
you
fun
got
of
this
it,
library.
because that would be a
Yeah.
good idea right away.
Correct, because that has a lot of those cars.
That's
Yeah,
the
it's
original.
right-
Okay,
it's
all right,
original.
yes, a moment, no,
Yeah.
no.
Virginia Board of Public Works has that.
No, no.
Yeah, scroll, I'm sorry,
Oh.
yeah, scroll it back out.
Yeah, because you'll need the title.
Precisely, that's what I'm,
Good. Oh, I get it.
okay, and this is map project data files, transportation.
Oh,
mail.
that's, it just says more like this.
Oh, I see.
The
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
Scam Railroad really wasn't built during the Civil War, it was smocked up.
But they did have locomotives.
You want the Orange and Alexandria, you don't want the Scam Railroad.
Well, that's the whole deal, you have to take it from both angles.
Yeah, I
That's
usually suggest
Scam
going
Railroad,
on the
I think
side.
we're
I think what year you're looking for? 62?
It's not always, actually, I prefer something like 63 or 64.
Okay.
Because I
It's
have a
gonna be-
62
It's
map.
gonna be Orange, it's gonna be Orange and Alexandria, or it's gonna be US Military Railroad Engineers.
Mhm.
Okay, and are you talking, that sounds like group number 94 at the archives, correct?
Which is really easy to get to, it's in the archive.
Yeah, you gotta go to the archives for that.
Yeah, I go, yes, I started the trip last Wednesday.
Well, I need to freaking go with you on it.
Yeah, one of these days.
Yeah.
Please print and send anything, everything you guys find. Alright, so like in our archive, which is a digital library, if you're looking for a book particular, you'll just search metadata, and it'll already be there, you'll just put it in the search. But if you're looking for words together,
Yeah.
so we'll put in
And this is, what is this that we're looking at
Internet Archive.
here? Internet
And
archive.
this is also the same site, if you ever heard of Wayback.
No.
It's
I don't know.
Wayback. If a site has gone out, like you can't access it anymore, a lot of times you can put it, you go to Wayback and put it in the URL, and you'll be able to kind of, if they took a frozen picture of the site at one point in time, you can still go back and access that site if they have it.
Would you be so kind as to bring the title of that down so I can just take a picture of it, make sure I keep it in my.
Well, Roger, I'm gonna put all these on a document, all these links.
Thank you.
I'm
Forget
sorry
it
for
then.
the-
Great, thank you. Carry on. I don't mean to slow you down.
No, you're good. See, what is the Manassas Gaps doing here? Here you go, legal history of the Virginia Midland Railway Company, the company's which built this road. Second Battle of Burr Run as connected with the Fishtown Porter case. Victory Rolling Rails, we all know that book.
Oh,
Bull Run, Tertiary. Yeah, so you just have a lot of mentions and you can just click each one. Sometimes, most times you'll borrow them. You have a borrow button. Give you like a certain amount of time you can borrow it, but you can always borrow it again and again and again.
right.
Reminiscence of General Howe, there we go.
Oh, yeah.
This is autobiography. I go through that a lot. Study of Civil War sites,
Abdel's book.
great book, everyone,
Yeah,
great book.
yeah, own that one. I had to get that immediately.
Shenandoah Valley, Virginia, 1605, tertiary.
Right.
Civil Railroads.
There you go.
The deal was on there.
Yeah,
The Bible.
yeah.
Army under Pope. So a lot of tertiary and secondary sources on here too.
Right.
Sometimes you can just look at
Is this
the
Google
cover
Books?
and tell it's gonna be really old.
Mm.
Are we looking at Google Books here?
No, this is Internet Archive.
Or in archive, okay.
They usually kind of share what material they also, I mean, not literally, but you can find common material between the two, Google Books and Internet
Senator
Archive.
Alexander's book down there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Let's see, can you actually get that book? We just look, or you have to borrow it or buy it?
you, you can, if you,
Wow,
oh,
it's been scanned, look at that.
yeah, you get the direct scans if you have an account,
Well,
which
I'll
is
tell you
not
right
paid.
now, that drawing's not right.
Yeah, I remember you talking about that.
Mm-hmm. There's got some mistakes in it.
And then you start looking at the picture and comparing it to the drawing and you're absolutely pinpoint correct.
Oh, that brings up, to my Virginia guys.
Wow.
Who, has anyone identified this engine?
No, the cars are kinda cool though. 'cause
I'll
they're
tell you
full of-
right now.
Yeah,
Full
those
of
are
hay.
Cattle cars full of hay.
There
Yes,
is-
sir.
There is
Yeah.
an alternate
And that
picture.
meant, and that was cause
Yeah.
of all
Taken
the
from the
oxen
track.
had in 'em.
Mm,
And they only had 5 of those cars.
One of these days, you might be able to pick up some of the letters. I have not been able to.
I've zoomed in and it's hard.
Okay, man.
So you,
You've had
neither
the
of you know
exact
what,
same
neither of you know what locomotive that is?
No, but I've been beating my head against, I have this huge screen.
Mm.
And what, do you see what
You
railroad it
you can
belongs
see
to?
that, no, cause
See
the,
anything?
you can tell the, tender is not on it.
Right.
You've
So,
talked about it, you've talked
on
about
the
it.
side, the name,
There is a nameplate, but
The
it's really
nameplate
hard to
is
read.
On the
right
boiler?
in front of the cab. And the angle, if it's 3D, right,
Yeah,
the angle is wrong, so you cannot,
Is it on the boiler like typically?
yes,
Oh, wow.
yeah, very typical. And it,
You can't see it.
no, no matter how
Bottom
big.
line, you can't see it, I get it.
No matter
I
how
feel the
big you
pain,
have
I
a
feel the
screen,
pain.
yeah.
no matter what the resolution of the photograph,
Mm-hmm.
and I keep looking for, Joel, which ones did you say were the best to look up the, if you can get a photograph in a certain,
Tiff?
TIFF?
Yeah, TIFF.
Okay.
Resolution.
Steven.
Well,
Oh,
let's
up,
get-
up, up, up.
That's the other view.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one, and the angle is just
Well,
bad
so-
enough.
It's the back of
And
the.
I've taken
Yeah.
the rosters too and see like, okay,
It's a
what's
screen
similar
saver.
here? What can I gather
It's a
from
screen
there?
saver.
Doesn't match. You know, I can't see a letter that would, or any name that would match. And so I'm going from O and A and Manassas Gap names, and it's like,
So can
And
I,
was it a USMR derelict left there?
question,
I-
question.
I-
Do we
it
know,
appears to
do,
be one of the locomotives they used internally, which are the ones on the deadline at Alexandria.
mm,
Yes.
Uh,
oh, you think it's that locomotive, one of
I
those?
think it's
Yeah,
one
I
of
do
those,
think it's
and
one
I
of
think,
those.
when I get back, I'll try to cross-reference between the pictures of the shops that Russell took, of the shops, where he picks up the top of the boilers of the locomotives. And I think it's one of those, because that's a wreck cleanup,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and there are records to that wreck cleanup.
Oh, man.
Really?
Of course there are, because
Yeah.
it's an operation. Those are probably in the archives.
Oh, the stack.
God.
I don't know if it'll tell you, it
Yeah.
will tell you
I
the
mean, I didn't
the
look
date
at
and
those.
that.
which I'm gonna see if
That
I can-
is, if I recall correctly, that is a cleanup.
Yeah.
They photographed it when they went out to do that.
So question. Do we know if at least it was Confederate that Yankees burned, or we don't know
See,
nothing?
that is after, it
Well, that's
is,
after Jackson's visit.
yeah,
After. So that Rebs probably torched it.
Right.
right.
Yes.
And
So,
that-
I
that-
So it's an
even
O and A,
okay.
or it's a B and O, or it's a Manassas Junction?
No,
Did
it's-
they have locomotives, Manassas Junction?
All the
Yeah, well-
locos have been consolidated in. It may be the one that's being towed in by the Yona. Not by the Yona, by that funky wheeled loco.
oh no, that's the,
the Rapidan?
yeah, that's,
No, that's the Union,
And
that
then-
picture is the Union.
and the Chaz,
Yeah, Chaz.
Chazano.
Yes,
Chazano.
exactly.
Chazano.
Correct.
I'm gonna sit on
See,
the
this is
floor.
fun, this is fun.
I know, I'm at the little kid
Rapidan's
desk.
doing the pull.
And by the way, that photo that you just showed there?
Yeah, I'm gonna pull it up.
Yeah, I don't know when it was taken, but when you zoom in on that, you'll see that same
You've talked about that.
destroyed locomotive. The same, no, you really have to be able to zoom in on
I
it.
thought I could zoom in through that, you know.
And I'm not sure if you can do that at the Library of Congress. But
Well,
the
that's
same
right.
locomotive is sitting back there, the stack, the
That's
cocking
the highest
stack
res
back
right
there.
there, the bottom one, the TIFF.
Yeah,
And you tried to zoom into that?
I have a photo, I have
LOC is
a,
weird, so like when you're viewing it, sometimes they only have a certain percentage you can zoom in, so
Where the
sometimes
hell's
you
the
have,
locomotive in that?
it's far back.
yeah, it's way far
Well,
back.
if you click on the highest res, it'll download it to a separate page, and then you open that
Oh,
page.
it's still loading.
See, that's
Right.
like 50 megabytes.
Okay,
I'll delete it after.
later.
Let's see.
We get the idea, that's cool.
The thing is that getting the name of the locomotive with date of day, or the generic, like, month, because it would specify, at least confirm, that it was after Jackson's visit when we know that engine was destroyed, right?
That's correct,
Right.
and there was very few USMRR locomotives available
Full time.
during that campaign.
Question,
So,
question? Do we know if those cars that were filled with hay had a label on them or any lettering?
there's gotta be a number on
Oh,
it. They're
that's-
USMRR.
Oh, they are USMR.
Oh, God, yeah, those are the.
So chances are that was either a USMRR locomotive or a local line locomotive.
I
right?
would think it was a USMRR, because I think if Jackson found himself a company locomotive,
But was the US Military Railroad naming their locomotives US, like designating them at that time?
Good
They were
question.
for the most part marked, but they have.
At that
multiple-
time?
Yeah, there were multiple sources for their locos, and they had picked up a bunch of rather junky things.
That they relabeled?
Yeah,
Oh, so that's a USMR, like original, or
well,
they
yeah, but
converted it from a local line?
It might, but it might be carrying a title too, a name rather than a number.
Which means it would have been attached to a local line that the US Military Railroad,
No, they bought them from all over the north.
Yeah,
so it's not originally a US Military Railroad,
No,
it belonged to
they
another line, right?
collected
Okay.
a large amount.
before they started
I've
buying
seen
from
this
builders,
before.
they started buying from
Well, that's
companies,
Rocco's
like railroad
Railroad
companies,
Sources
to
in
get
it.
like their old stock.
this is.
So that's why a lot of like
Rock.
1850s
So,
engines
AI.
appeared in the roster. You'd be like,
So
why
it
would they
searches
need
the
1850s
internet
engines?
for miles
Because they're
before.
trying to fill in their roster
Okay.
first, and then start filling in orders from Baldwin, from Norris, from Manchester, and all these other companies.
Right,
So that's why
Wow,
it's
so
hard to
that-
tell.
so probably, I mean, like, to distill this a little bit, it's probably a locomotive that belonged to a different line that was
Uh,
It
converted.
could be.
Oh, look at that, look at that.
Okay, it's not in this photo, is it? No.
Chubby time.
But-
Whoa, 3 windows on the back
Yeah,
end?
look at
What the
that.
hell is
Yeah,
that?
if you go to
Possible that's the
the
president.
records of the US military railroad cars, you will find office and kitchen cars, converted from box cars.
Alright,
And when you look at your photos, in most of those where they're showing cleanups and things like that, you'll notice they have lots of vents, different vents in the top. You have, oil light vents and stove vents, and they're all for different purposes.
2 questions, Joel. 1, and let me ask them both first. This is a like reclamation train, like it's cleaning stuff up, that's the question number 1. Number 2, you're saying that those 3 windows were added to a boxcar to
Yeah.
accommodate this?
Well, they were,
They look like
they
it.
built box cars, yeah.
But they were originally a solid wall in the back.
They might have been.
Maybe.
We don't know.
They may have built
But
it.
it's,
A ladder.
but it's strictly for cleaning, like what would be in there?
That would be, no, that was strictly, okay, they were strictly for US military railroad use. You had kitchen cars,
Kitchen
you had
car,
office
okay.
cars, that you, those were used, like.
Well, that could
used
be a
for
kitchen car
telegraph
because there's no
stations.
stack coming out of it, right?
Yeah, and
That's a good
this is, I believe, a wrecking train, because I think somewhere in that line, I see the old Origin Alexandria baggage car.
Look at all
That's
these
a
pieces.
wrecking car on the side of it,
Was
Where?
captured.
somewhere.
look at this building.
President was captured.
Just look at
There's
Look at
that's,
this on the
what's
Zoom
his
call.
name's painting?
And that's, yeah,
Isn't that,
What is all that white stuff?
isn't that the
I know,
painting
that's what I was
that,
gonna ask.
What do you
Dave
think that is,
Schneider
Joel?
did of the
Canvas?
president?
Wool?
I think.
No,
I don't have it.
No.
That's
the
probably- that was
secretary.
probably
Steve,
saying
right?
it was-
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Bussing,
Bob.
yeah.
It was what?
Oh.
And I
That was
know
probably-
that.
Canvas that covers
That's,
the
yeah,
cars, like
see,
canvas
that's,
parks.
Oh.
that's a platform beside the
Yeah.
track.
Oh, wow,
What do you think?
Now I'm talking before, without checking notes.
Okay, so-
Right,
It's
yeah.
very careful.
This is what,
Because I
okay.
have looked at these photos and changed
Oh,
my
yeah,
mind.
outside
over
frame.
time.
Colors, the sizes, all those different freight cars. You doggy.
That thing way on the right looks like a livestock ramp.
Yeah, yes.
Oh,
Right
very
here.
good, very good, very good.
There's another picture of that from a different angle from the sign.
That's right, I saw it from you,
Yep.
yes.
And, it has, could do the, what are they called? The prairie scooters, what were they called?
Conestoga wagon.
Thank you.
Ah, right.
Yeah, there, in that other picture.
Roger, was yours the photo of Manassas where it showed that big white arch and everybody's trying to figure out what the hell that was?
Yeah, that white arch is not there in these destroyed folders because they were taken away. That arch would appear, oh, what did you
See,
do?
that's
There we go.
that's the burned out loco.
No, it's not the side angle. That you
No,
can see
it's
the-
not the side angle.
But this is
No.
definitely an 1850s engine, you can tell the
Yes,
design.
absolutely, and the drivers are extremely close
Oh,
next
yeah.
to each other.
So it's gotta be an inside drive engine, which limits the builders.
That would, yeah, you have quite a few, like 5 or 6 inside drivers
Mhm.
on the roster. You can sort through that and pick out the names,
Right. Look
okay?
at the big steam dome too. It's got two steam cannons
And,
or safety valves.
and the rostering information on the locomotive sheets will tell you the builder.
Right.
And from that, you cross-reference to figure which one used the cannons.
Mm-hmm.
And that loco was badly burned. So I don't know if there's a nameplate on it at this point.
Well,
Try-
not
try-
from this
try here.
angle,
Try here.
trust me, there's a
That's
better
the
angle.
bracket, I don't know if it's got a plate.
Hold on.
Yeah, that picture's in the LSC, isn't it?
Yeah, it is,
Yeah.
yeah. It should be suggested down here.
Yeah.
Where is it?
I don't think that's it, I think you had that one earlier, right?
Yeah, let's see some great suggestions. Let's see, it's been masses again.
Yeah, it's-
Because I was locked in those.
Yeah, we got,
Yeah, we
I've
probably
got
should.
a half hour to go to, not trying to.
I didn't,
Trying to be-
I didn't mean to sidetrack us, but it did happen.
Not trying to be the sidetrack, but we gotta start
Oh, yeah.
thinking about.
I mean, what we do is kind of review what I have done.
Yeah.
But then again, there's different angles. You do want to look up whatever
yeah.
company documents are out there.
See, the juice for me in this is that he's presenting something kind of new
Yeah.
or whatever. And
Okay,
I
that's a
like,
picture. That right there is a picture drawn
Yes,
on site.
yeah, no, that's why I love this one.
Yeah, that's in my background on my layout.
See, you see
And-
all that.
Yep.
I'm gonna add that to it.
And look how raised that is there. I'm like, it blows my mind because you can't find, and this was done during the war. Guy had been there. He didn't make that shit up there because that stuff is all in
See,
there.
who was
In
the buyer?
pictures.
Oh, it was Watt.
AR Watt, so.
Oh, they,
Savior.
oh, okay, all right. And he usually did his pictures on site.
Yeah, sketches, yeah, we're definitely,
So you ready to close out?
yeah.
Cool. So, two things. One, I love the fact that somebody presented something that we could apply immediately versus it be a theoretical. So that's just something that's turning into my mind about how we can support each other to continue to learn from what we're trying to accomplish. So it makes it really relevant, and it's a stimulating conversation, at least for me. And for Roger to step in and have this conversation and see what could work. So this is great. Well done, Austin. We're gonna
Yes.
give it up for Mr. Ebner. When I saw Charlie taking notes and Bernie asking questions, I knew you were on the right track.
Right, and,
So
we'll
you're
come
gonna
back
make any of
tonight,
this
I'll,
available, or-
you guys can, come over to the truck, we'll come into the lobby and I'll pull out the map of Culpeper.
Huzzah.
Oh,
You guys promised me that last night.
What'd you say?
oh, we did?
Yeah, we didn't walk
I
away.
didn't promise
Post
nothing.
something
But
relevant to
We
this.
walked away.
Who's
We,
I
whoa,
think
whoa, whoa,
so.
who's me and
Oh, yeah,
walked
yeah,
away. Me and
yeah.
us.
We,
Something like that.
I don't remember making any promises.
I also have a
Links
little
down.
short photo presentation for
Okay,
Culpeper.
That's great.
Who is we, Kimosabi?
What?
We was Austin and I. I will.
Good
Who
clarification.
we were, who agreed to help him with this, but did not.
Oh.
And therefore, we will
And
accept
therefore,
the
we-
I'll take you,
responsibility.
Austin, and Joel again, go to the, Jessup.
Oh, and it just,
Yep. So I'll take Austin, Joel, and Charlie again, Jessup.
Okay, we're good. We
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you.
Yeah, well done, man. Thank you.
Really good job. I enjoyed
Yes.
that.
yeah.
Good.
I saw a couple people nodding off.
Yeah.
Won't say names.
He's talking about me
Tom.
probably, because
Just
I
like
warned
Margaret.
everybody I was here.
I was talking from the light, but that'll work too, I guess.
DC's always nodding off around this
I'll
time.
get it.
You know, it's just my nap time, folks, I'm sorry. You know.
No apologies.
I'm way past my nap time. I was stuck in some really strange town in Delaware.
Great excuse.
Scratch this by reptile.
Okay, let's see if I can stay. I could.
Who?
Austin,
Okay.
A-U-S-T-I-N, Austin.
Good thing you're not drinking.
Yeah, he was even sober when he did it.
I think the next
rough
one
crowd.
is the out of schedule on that.
Yeah, there's that.
Yes.
And.
1 to 1:30 in that.
Yeah,
We need.
senior meditation.
Yeah.
What's that?
There's a